This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stockbox interview. Joining us today is Brett Grist, the Chief Operating Officer for Kavango Resources. So, hello, Brett. It's the first time that we're speaking. Welcome onto the Stockbox. How are you doing?
Very well, and fantastic to join you from Botswana.
Yes, indeed. I understand you're in Botswana. How long have you been there for?
I came here just over 2 weeks ago. I wanted to see the project as soon as possible after joining the company. I joined Cavango back at the start of February, and it's really been a chance to get hands on and touch the project, really, see what's going on.
Okay. And just tell me a little bit about your background then. I understand you've worked in many different countries, and of course you've been in Botswana now for a couple of weeks. What is Botswana like as a jurisdiction to do business in, and maybe compared to some other countries where a lot of mineral projects are located?
Well, thanks, Mark. As you mentioned, I've worked around the world, including in West Africa, in Mali and in Ghana, and in the Democratic Republic of Congo, amongst other places. But in contrast, Botswana is just a pleasure to work in. Everything works. There's a skilled labour force. There's a low crime rate. You actually feel safe walking around here, possibly safer even than in the UK at times. There's an excellent and largely empty road network. It's got to be said that the distances are large. On the trip I've just done around all of our projects, we covered nearly 3,000 kilometres in about 10 days. But it wasn't hard work. You weren't tired at the end of the day. And as well, quite importantly these days, the country is keen on mining. Not all countries are. I was recently working in the UK and saw some quite mixed messaging from government. Here in Botswana, as you would expect, you have to do things right. But providing you do so, the government here is really supportive.
Excellent. Okay. So you are the Chief Operating Officer for Kavango Resources. Can you tell me about the projects Kavango has in their portfolio and your take on them, really, from the operating officer point of view?
Well, what is important in any company is not just the projects, but the teams. And I was really impressed with what I saw in them. All but one of our team members are Botswana nationals. A large proportion of our field teams are female. Over on the KSZ, Kalahari Suture Zone, one of our senior geologists is Mary. We're seeing some really excellent leadership over there. She's not afraid to tackle difficult issues heads on and tell you what she thinks. Over on the Copper Belt, our senior geologist there is Fred, and he's doing a great job running operations. He's got a range of experience across the region, and he's been straight out there with his teams mapping the geology. It's something that people often neglect nowadays. They'll dash straight off for their computers and forgetting the old skills of mapping, which gives you the handle on lithological and structural controls that you can then build on with your geochemistry, with your geophysics, to come up with some really precise targeting. So having all of that in place means that we are then potentially set for success. And as Ben has recently mentioned, over at Dittal, we're about to start drilling. We're working with Equity Drilling. I met with their team and was really impressed with their approach, in particular to health and safety. And basically, if you're getting health and safety right, that's typically a good sign that the rest of the operations are going to be going well as well. So on the health and safety side, because of where we are, wildlife can be a real problem. Everything from lions through to snakes, both of which I saw on my trip. They've got proper plans in place, as you would hope, and having them on board, taking a portion of their charges as equity in Kavango, is a real vote of confidence in us. As you would expect, they see a lot of projects, and so they know what is worth investing in. We look forward to that relationship continuing.
Okay. And did you meet any other people, any other interesting people along the way?
Well, Tips is managing director of our Botswana company, Kavango Minerals. He's a superb individual. He previously played a pivotal role in the transformation of the Botswana Geoscience Institute through to a more commercial focus. So he was able to manage a transition from basically a governmental organisation to something in the private sector. He's well respected. He's a very effective representative for us. On Monday, I met up with the Department of Mines and with the Ministry of Mineral Resources. And as I said earlier, what is really clear is that they are keen to support us and other companies operating here. The majority of Botswana's wealth currently comes from diamond mining, and the ministry are really keen to diversify. Obviously, we are potentially part of that. I met with our local JV partners, LVR Geo Explorers. They are a really impressive team. One of them was previously operations manager for De Beers here in Botswana. So yeah, really quite a high-level operator. Very pleased to be working with them. And finally, we met up with the University of Botswana. We plan to work with them going forwards, and as a first step, have agreed to host students for some study placements this winter break. It's something I've done in previous positions, working closely with universities, and it works both ways. If we are able to give those students their first industry experience, hopefully that helps them into their first job, and you never know, that could be with Kavango.
Okay. So you've been on site now visiting the projects and the teams. Would you say it was a successful and worthwhile trip? And how are you feeling about the operations and going forward for Kavango Resources across all of the projects in the portfolio?
I'd say I feel energized. I always knew that Botswana is a great mining jurisdiction to be operating in. Visiting has confirmed this, and it's highlighted the great competence of our Botswana team. Kavango has come a long way in the last year. We've still got more to do, but as all of us emerge from COVID, we here on the Botswana operation are stepping things up a gear. I'm really looking forward to the next 6 months.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much, Brett Grist, the Chief Operating Officer for Kavango Resources, for your time.
Thanks, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.